This week, we truly witnessed an end to an era. From John Cena finally retiring to Justin Bieber going back to where it all began. We had McDonald's dropping one of the most hated Christmas ads ever, Australia changing the internet forever, the head of NATO warning that Russia could attack within the next few years, and on top of all of that, you won't believe which two countries have been chosen to play in next year's World Cup Pride match. All of that and so much more. This is gonna be a banger video, I promise, so watch to the end. We're only 60k away from 1 million subscribers. We are so close. So let's stop the yapping, and Zaddy, whatever you throw me first will be today's ceremonial whip in 3, 2, 1. Let's stop the yapping and underwear was the first thing that you had in your hand. Sorry about that, guys. That's disgusting from this channel. Okay, I want to start today a little bit differently. Alex, you better cue the sad music, because as I was researching all of the videos for today's news roundup, I found a bunch that just got me kind of sad, because they really showed us that life is moving on, and we are currently living in the end of an era. Starting with the one and only, the legendary John Cena. He will have his very last WWE match this weekend. So many of us watching right now grew up with him being the face of wrestling for the past 20 years since he had his debut in 2002. Well, that's over 20 years. Now, he has said it numerous times, but the reason that he is retiring is because his body simply can't handle it anymore. This is our hero's body. It's breaking. And I guess in reality that makes sense, because he has been wrestling multiple times a week for decades now. He recently went on the Joe Rogan podcast and he said that he's had at least 10 physical surgeries, including a neck fusion, detached muscles, multiple reconstructive procedures. And he said that this time he is retiring for real and there is no going back. He said that he might still be involved in promoting the wrestling business and maybe still occasionally appearing in the WWE. He says he will never perform in the ring again. But he will be retiring with the most WWE world titles of all time. So he really truly might be the greatest to have ever done it. And it's a particularly sad one for me, because I grew up as a child watching WWE. John Cena was my brother's favorite. Rey Mysterio was mine. And now both of them are gone. God damn it. But my tears didn't stop there this week, because Justin Bieber went back to the bowling alley where he shot the infamous Baby music video. And if you want a visual representation of the end of an era, this is it. Look at it. It is completely abandoned. Floorboards are pulled up, and it's kind of surprising as well that this is happening to that bowling alley, because that was a seriously popular music video. We all grew up united in hate over that. And now the hate is over? No! This is truly the end of the era of playing Wii, watching PewDiePie, watching the Disney Channel, hitting the Harlem Shake, making sure that you forward a long-ass message so you don't get 10 years of bad luck. You remember that one? So you don't get 10 years of bad luck? Good times! Now it's over! And all of that was defined by songs like Baby. And now look at it now. Just a dark, abandoned bowling alley with a bearded Justin Bieber. What the hell? Now it's just all AI slop. Speaking of which, the nostalgia doesn't stop there, because Time Magazine, as they do every year, they named the Person of the Year. And turns out it's not a person, because it was rather people. Right? They said, quote, 2025 was the year that artificial intelligence's full potential roared into view, and when it became clear that there will be no turning back. For delivering the age of thinking machines, for wowing and worrying humanity, for transforming the present and transcending the possible, the architects of AI are Time's 2025 Person of the Year. But this is not only a reminder that we're living in the era of AI everything, but we've also got to question, when is the time that we officially declare that we are now in a Cold War? Are we nearing the end of the long peace? And for anyone that doesn't know what the long peace is, Google it. I'm not going through it now. I'm too mournful. Because yet again this week, we were given a stark new warning by the head of NATO, saying that Russia could attack a NATO country within the next 5 years. Mark Rutte said in a speech in Germany this week that Russia is already escalating its covert campaign against our societies. This is the craziest part. We must prepare for the scale of war our grandparents or great-grandparents endured. That this scale of war that he's referring to is world wars. He says that we must prepare for a world war. Bro, this week, it was even the end of an era for the World Cup. The one thing that, quote, unites humanity. Because this week we found out the prices of the matches for next year's World Cup, and it brought a tear to my eye. The cheapest ticket to watch the World Cup final in 2022 was $600. Not that bad. But this time in the US, Mexico, and Canada, thanks to dynamic pricing being introduced by FIFA for the first time in its history, the cheapest ticket will cost around $4,185. That is almost 7 times higher than just a couple of years ago. They are also scrapping all concessions for FIFA tickets for children and other groups like elderly or disabled. And thanks to dynamic pricing, the prices for group stage games, not just the final, are also could be raised. So yeah, this is coming from the person who held the hand of one of the players in the 2010 World Cup in South Africa and walked out on the pitch. The World Cup is a crucial core part of my life. So I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty horrible to see this. So yeah, I just wanted to say that nostalgia really hit with those news pieces this week. But I will fight through the tears to get through the rest of the video because we've got some other wild news to get through. So moving on. Speaking about the World Cup, actually, the World Cup hasn't even started, but the drama is already in full swing. So it turns out next year, the tournament actually kicks off during Pride Month. So because of that, the city of Seattle have organized one of the group stage games to be hosted as a, quote, Pride match. Now keep in mind, this Pride match was organized way before they knew which countries would be competing in it. And in this wild case of irony, maybe it's the best teams in the countries that could have been chosen for it, but the teams selected for this game are Egypt and Iran. Both countries which you can be imprisoned for being gay. Now to clarify, the Pride match wasn't organized by FIFA, rather the local committees in Seattle. And despite the unexpected lineup, a spokesperson said that they're not going to be changing plans because of the countries that are participating in it. And as it stands, Iran and Egypt will be facing each other in a Pride celebration match. Ha! I feel like this World Cup is going to be crazy. Moving on! Also, if you are using Gmail, you might want to listen to this. Recently, Forbes came out with a report stating Gemini AI Deep Research can read your Gmail now. Hallelujah! And once people saw this, they started freaking out. Bro, this one post alone of a lady showing people how to turn off these AI settings got 1.1 million shares. One post! The article reads, there's been concern over headlines this week that Google is letting Gemini Deep Research tool read Gmail messages, as well as data from Docs, Drive, and Chat. But only if you let it. So all of these posts started going viral of people showing people how to turn the settings off. Now I could do the same and show you how to turn them off, but that wouldn't be solving the problem. People are freaking out over AI being able to read your Gmails, but Google has been doing this for years. Turning off AI on Gmail is like blowing out a candle when your house is on fire. So let me actually give you some information that's helpful. Switch to Proton Mail. You guys know how much the Empire approves of Proton. It is one of the most trusted secure email providers in the world. It was created by literal scientists at CERN, and it was ranked the best overall secure email provider of 2025 by Tech Radar. And with Proton, you don't need to worry about turning off any settings deep in there hidden away, because as a standard policy, they don't read your emails. In fact, even if they wanted to, they couldn't, because they are end-to-end encrypted. It is truly private. They also block scam emails before they even reach your inbox. They don't sell your personal data, which you would think would be standard across all companies, but is not. And they don't have any annoying ads targeting you. And to switch to Proton is so easy. You can literally sync all your emails, your calendars, your contacts with the literal click of a button. And with Proton Easy Switch, you can literally sync your entire inbox, your contacts, your calendar, all securely from your current email provider to Proton with literally one click. And when you find out that you can get all of this for free, you start wondering why the hell you're even with Gmail in the first place? All you guys gotta do is click the link that I've pinned in the comments and in the description, and your life is changed. So, I say once again, thank me later, moving on. Also this week, McDonald's probably made one of the most hated Christmas ads ever, which is saying something after Coca-Cola's ad. Now, not only was it completely AI generated, but viewers are also accusing the commercial of essentially suggesting that Christmas and family is so stressful and horrible that you might as well spend your holidays inside and have it at McDonald's instead, because it's so simple and easy. I mean, the song in the ad is literally called "The Most Terrible Time of the Year," which I don't even have to explain. Is a little bit different to the original. One of the commenters said, the message of this ad is the holidays suck and the solution is to spend as much time in McDonald's as possible, forget your family and friends, have a Big Mac. Now, McDonald's Netherlands uploaded the commercial to YouTube, but they almost immediately had to turn off the comments because of all of the backlash. But soon, even that wasn't enough. And eventually they had to pull the commercial entirely off of YouTube. But this whole situation escalated even further when one of the production companies involved in this mess released this now deleted statement, and they actually defended the work on the commercial, saying that this project took significant human labor, many weeks of work, thousands of takes, and intensive editing to shape the AI-generated footage into a finished film. And in the end, they even said, AI didn't make this film, we did. Now, it kind of goes without saying, but boy, people didn't just be like, oh, actually, well done. No, they went doubly as hard. So, of course, they had to delete that statement as well. And then McDonald's themselves released a statement to the BBC saying, they said the moment served as important learning as the company explored the effective use of AI. I don't know why they don't learn, because McDonald's isn't the first. There was Coca-Cola, there was Toys R Us, and now it's McDonald's. All of them got significant backlash. And if it is as labor intensive as they are saying, then why not just do it a different way? It doesn't seem like it's an effective way. Anyway, what do you guys think? Are people just going too crazy about it? Are the public ready for AI-generated ads? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, but for now, moving on! Also this week, Australia, they finally did it. In fact, they actually did it. They changed the internet forever. For the first time in history, a country has now officially begun enforcing an unprecedented law. Currently, everyone in Australia, of millions and millions of people, anyone under the age of 16, is now banned from using social media. That's crazy. And the reason this is so significant for everyone watching is that depending on how this goes for Australia, other countries have already started showing interest in doing the same. On Wednesday morning, millions of Australians woke up to similar messages to this. This one was on TikTok basically saying, "You're gone, buddy." In fact, many loyal citizens of this NEWSDADDY empire, they're no longer here. Well, at least they shouldn't be here. I gave you goodbye whippings. You better not be here. But interestingly, I don't know how well it's worked, because many people that are under the age of 16 still report being able to scroll without any of these notifications, preventing them being on the app.
What about you? Are you going to miss your social media?
I'm not removed from anything. The ban hasn't worked.
It hasn't worked? Why is that?
Because my camera's terrible, so they think I'm 16.
What about you, mate?
I'm also not banned off social media.
Or even just switching to their second account where they capped about their age limit. So it seems a little easy to get around at the minute.
It's a bad idea because we're going to find alternates anyways.
Yeah, well, that'll get found out too.
That is where Australia's big, heavy-ass threat comes in. They are putting it on the social media companies to prevent under 16s from being allowed on their platform, or else they are the ones that get fined about 50 or 49.5 million Australian dollars. That's pretty hefty. But from that, two major questions remain. One, how are these social media companies going to do it without having to require everyone in the country to prove their age? And two, if they successfully find a way, then what the hell are all these under 16s going to do with all this freed up time? Maybe they'll go back to the mall and play bowling again. Yes, you know what? Do it. We cannot have abandoned bowling alleys anymore. But as I mentioned, don't get all comfy thinking, haha, let's laugh at Australia, because no, as one expert put it, it could become a proof of concept that gains traction around the world. In fact, certain countries like Malaysia are already expressing interest, saying that they will be doing the same. So the question is, what do you guys think? Would the world be better off if teenagers didn't spend all their time on social media? Or is this a silly and stupid plan and there's no going back, kind of like AI, and it's inevitably gonna fail? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This one is a very interesting one, so I'll be reading a lot of them. But for now, moving on! Alright, Owen, did ya?
Wait. Pass me the mic, boy. Wait, ready?
There you go. She wanted to show you guys that she's having a cold one.
Yeah, it's just the best sound in the world.
Oh, okay. Anything else while you're here? Would you like to say?
Chop chop news, boy.
Throw my dirty undies at you. And lastly, on the topic of social media, boy! What was I gonna say? If you wanted to visit the US, you might want to be even more careful about what you say online. That is because a new proposal from the US government this week may require up to 5 years of social media history before being allowed to enter the US, even as a touristo. A tourist, just in case. What is a touristo? This is tourist with an O at the end, actually. And it's not just the social media history that they want. They also will require information relating to telephone numbers that you've used over the past 5 years. They want email addresses used over the last 10 years, your family background, such as family members' places of birth, and even biometric information like fingerprints, DNA, and iris data. DNA and iris data is wild. And it's like, fair enough if you're applying to become a citizen of the country, but just for a tourist, and not just any tourist from any old country, this is for the 42 visa-exempt countries like the UK, France, Germany, Japan, Australia. So the countries allies, which are deemed usually as safe. Now, naturally, there's been some heavy concern of, it being a little intrusive, but Trump defended the proposal, saying that we want to make sure we're not letting in the wrong people come and enter our country. But I think you know where this is going, because the wildest part about this is the timing of when they're choosing to do this. Because just next year is the World Cup, where tens of thousands of people flood to the host country to go and watch it. And so now they could be collecting all of that data just so you can go and watch the World Cup and then go home. So I guess the question is, what do you guys think? Is giving up all that data to the United States worth visiting the country and watching the World Cup, or even just visiting in general? Or will you be thinking twice if this is what you actually have to do? The Federal Register states that the public has 60 days to submit comments on the proposed changes before they are finalized. Right, I think that is a wrap for this week. Monday's video will be the final video recorded from a hotel room. Thank God. I am ready to go back to my bloody garage. But yeah, final stop on NEWSDADDY tour is China, which is where we are now, and it is crazy so far. Can't wait to show you guys the content. As I've said before, I will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. But until then, boom!